So I've been living in London for a year and a half now, and I know that lots of you want to move to London, so I thought I would do a moving to London advice video. I asked you guys on Twitter to send me any questions that you have using the hashtag AskHannahLondon, and me and Dodie are going to go out and be tourists for the day, going to see loads of different London landmarks as I answer them. We only have a few hours, but I printed out this map and put crosses on all the landmarks that we want to go and see. So, yeah. Let's see if we can do this in an afternoon. Should be interesting. Okay, let's go! Ruby asked how long did it take you to find somewhere to live? It took me 6 weeks. I moved to London, and for the first 6 weeks I was staying with my dad's cousin and my godfather. I was very lucky that I had people in London who would house me for so long. That 6 weeks was a horrible, horrible time of house hunting, but I did it. Other people have done it in less. So loads of you asked, is London really as expensive as everyone says? And yes and no. The rent is really expensive, the alcohol is really expensive, but everything else is kind of the same as any other city in the UK. It's all good. Transport is also kind of expensive, but it's really good transport, so I think it's worth it. Like, I get a Zone 1 to 2 monthly travel card, and that costs £125. But if you have like a full-time job and you're traveling in and out of the city like every day, 5 days a week, you know, then it adds up. It's totally worth it. Adna asked what are the best places to eat when you're on the broke side. First of all, wherever you eat, order water, because it's the drinks that are the expensive thing, and that's what's going to make the bill higher.
Tap water.
Tap water. For cheap places to eat, I've found actually loads of really cheap pizza places in Soho. They're so cheap and they're so delicious, and they're just like, they come out these beautiful, massive stone-baked pizzas, and there's also just loads of places where you can just pick up things and like sandwiches and baguettes on the go, like anywhere else. But if you want to sit down and eat something, pizza in Soho, nom nom. Everyone is basically asking how to find nice, affordable housing. You can't. I'm sorry, it's London. You're going to be paying like 3 times as much in the city, maybe more, than anywhere else in the UK. That's just the deal. But places to find stuff. If you're moving on your own, or you're looking for housemates, spare room is your best bet. If you already have a group of you and you're looking to find a place together, Zoopla, Rightmove, Gumtree, all of these places, or just Google rent in London. Things get swept up really fast. You have to be quick. As soon as you see a house on the market, you call them up, you go view it, and then you put that deposit down if you like it. If you don't do it, within like 24 hours, someone else is going to get it. That's just the way it is. So, good luck. You're going to need it. Don't cry too much. You'll find somewhere eventually. Laura asked, does it ever feel overwhelming living in London with the sheer amount of people? Sometimes, but look at this. This is a nice amount of people, isn't it? But it is like a Monday afternoon. Everyone's at work. There are lots of quiet places in London. If you do feel overwhelmed, I also get an overwhelming feeling of like, oh my God, I live in London a lot. If you like, that's a good overwhelming feeling though. Like, look at that! So much history! Mia asks how to get back home safely without going bankrupt from a night out with friends. That is a good question. I would say night buses. I've done the night bus on my own many times and never had a problem. It is a bit weird and rowdy, but ultimately everyone is just drunk and friendly, and you get home eventually. Alternatively, if you like live in the same area as your friends, or maybe you decide to stay over at your friends, you can share the price of a taxi or an Uber. Also, soon there's going to be a night tube. If the tube people would stop striking and actually finally make a decision of when the night tube is going to start, that would be great. Reese asked, what about anxiety when using public transport? It can be very scary because everyone is moving so fast, but try and not get caught up in it, and try not to move as fast as everyone else. Just kind of stand to the side and go at your own pace, and don't feel like an idiot if you have to stare at the map for ages. Just take your time, take some breaths, and there's a tube like every 2 minutes, so if you miss one, like, don't worry and just like wait it out on the platform until you feel comfortable enough to get on a train. Sam asks, how reliable is public transport in the city? Would I need a car? No, you will not need a car. The public transport is great, and also you can walk everywhere. We've walked to all of these locations that we're filming today. One big piece of advice I'd give you is when you first move to London is once you get into central London, just walk around, because then you get a sense of where everything is in relation to each other, rather than going underground and coming up again and having no idea where you just went. So walk around, get your bearings, and you'll soon realise that actually central London is really small and very walkable. Get some good shoes. So this is another question that a whole bunch of you asked, which is, how the hell do I make friends? I don't know, guys. I moved to London and I had like a ready-made group of friends already here, but I have made new friends since moving here through like doing improv and just going out and doing the things that I want to do, and then meeting people who are doing the same things at work, and then meeting people through my housemates who I didn't know before I moved in. So there are lots of ways to meet new people. Just kind of anytime anyone that you like and trust is like, hey, want to come do this thing? A couple of my friends are coming along too. You say yes, and then you make friends with their friends, and then you just infiltrate friendship groups until you are a part of that friendship group. Mary asks, is the pollution really as bad as people make it out to be? Yes, it is, but you don't notice it until you leave London. You just kind of get used to the smog and the coughing, and then as soon as you leave and you're in countryside fresh air, you're like, oh my god, I can breathe. What have I been living in? But you get used to it, yo. It's all good.
Just blow your nose and blow all that black stuff up.
Anne asks, any job advice? Well, I'm a YouTuber, so yeah. But obviously it entirely depends on what you want to do. But as soon as you get to London, even before you get to London, apply for as many jobs as possible. Just make it your full-time job to apply for jobs, and follow people who are already doing what you want to do on Twitter. Get your LinkedIn profile like super good. Just chase any opportunity and talk to as many people as possible. Attend events that are like public events in your field. Just go mental and you'll get that job. Sarah asks, were you ever worried about your finances whilst moving to London? I was in a very lucky position where I had people that I could move in with whilst I settled myself, but I did get a part-time job at a catering agency for a while before I kind of started to earn money from doing other things like YouTube. So like I was worried, but like not too worried, because I used that worry to go and get a part-time job. Ethan asks how to spend money wisely, rent, transport, going out, etc. Rent and transport, you just have to do it, whatever. Going out, if you are someone who is a rich drunk and likes to spend loads of money on their card when they go out, take cash out and leave your card at home. Stop drinking after a while. So like once you feel like you've hit the peak that you want to be at and you've had a few drinks, just stop and order water. You'll sober up and it's cheaper. Yeah?
Yeah!
Thank you guys for watching. Did we manage it? Was that good? Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I hope it helped in some way. I know not everyone wants to move to London, so if there's another city that you want to move to, leave it in the comments. I bet someone else lives there and then they can help you out. Alternatively, if you live in like New York or LA, Paris, Berlin, Toronto, Sydney, you know, any big city, and you have some advice for someone who's thinking of moving there, also leave that in the comments, especially New York, because I want to move to New York. Don't forget to subscribe because I make new videos every week, and I'll see you soon. Bye!